Imagine pressing a button that instantly reveals how your brain actually works, why you forget names, why you lose focus, why you learn some things quickly and others painfully slowly. And imagine that the one holding this button is a molecular biologist who spent decades studying the brain under a microscope. In today's episode, we're stepping inside one of the most fascinating books ever written about the human mind, Brain Rules by Dr. John Medina. A book that doesn't just explain how the brain works, it explains how you should live based on how the brain works. So sit back, take a deep breath, and get ready to uncover the 12 rules that will reshape the way you work, think, learn, and live. Dr. John Medina opens the book with a simple truth that most people overlook. The brain is not built for the modern world. It evolved in the wild, chasing food, avoiding predators, and surviving uncertainty. Yet today, we expect it to sit still at a desk, memorize information for hours, multitask flawlessly, produce constant creativity, and manage endless pressure. The book, at its core, is an invitation to realign our lives with the way the brain actually functions. The first rule tells us that exercise boosts brain power. Medina explains that the human brain developed during long-distance walking. Our ancestors didn't sit all day, they moved, often 12 miles a day. He tells the story of a school in Illinois that introduced morning fitness sessions before academic classes. The result? Test scores soared. The message is unmistakable. Movement sharpens thinking, improves memory, and increases problem-solving abilities. A brain in motion is a brain that thrives. This leads naturally to the second rule. The brain evolved to. Medina reminds us that our minds are shaped by survival, not comfort. We're wired to adapt, improvise, and create. He shares research showing how early humans survived because of neurons that helped them learn from unpredictable situations. In modern life, this means flexibility and curiosity aren't optional. They are biological strengths. Then comes one of Medina's most famous ideas. Every brain is wired differently. No two brains store the same memory the same way or learn the same way. He tells stories of classrooms where students with different learning styles were forced into one rigid method, leading to frustration and failure. But when lessons matched individual strengths, performance exploded. The takeaway is powerful. Everyone's brain is unique, and treating learning as one size fits all is a recipe for mediocrity. From here, Medina explores a rule people think they understand, but almost always get wrong. We don't pay attention to boring things. The brain cannot maintain focus on flat, monotonous information. He shares research showing attention drops after just 10 minutes unless something emotional, surprising, or story-driven happens. This is why great speakers open with stories, jokes, or questions. They hijack the brain's natural attention system. Attention isn't a skill, it's a biological response. Next, Medina dives into memory and reveals something shocking. Memory is unreliable. When we learn new information, the brain edits and rewrites it each time we recall it. He gives the example of eyewitness testimony, how two people can see the same event, yet remember completely different stories. But he also explains how memory can be strengthened through repetition spaced over days, not hours. This spacing effect is one of the most powerful tools in learning. Closely tied to memory is the next rule: repeat to remember. Learning is not a one-time event, it's a cycle. Medina shares studies showing that revisiting information briefly but consistently strengthens neural pathways. It's why cramming fails and why spaced practice creates long-term mastery. Then we arrive at one of the most practical rules. Sleep profoundly affects brain performance. Medina tells the story of Randy Gardner, who went 11 days without sleep as part of a science fair experiment, ending in severe cognitive decline, hallucinations, and memory failure. The brain needs sleep to consolidate memories, reset emotional balance, and clean out toxins. He also reveals that most people have a natural afternoon dip in energy, a biological siesta, yet modern work culture ignores this rhythm. From sleep, the book transitions to stress, and Medina doesn't sugarcoat it. Chronic stress shuts down the brain. Short bursts of stress help you focus, but long-term pressure destroys learning, weakens memory, and impairs decision-making. He shares heartbreaking studies showing how children raised in chaotic environments suffer permanent cognitive damage. Your brain was built for temporary danger, not lifelong pressure. Then comes creativity, an ability people misunderstand deeply. Medina explains that the brain builds ideas by combining existing ones. Creativity is pattern remixing, not magic. He tells the story of a design team that created breakthrough ideas by exposing themselves to diverse environments, sounds, and experiences. The richer your inputs, the richer your creative outputs. This brings us to one of the most misunderstood topics: multitasking. Medina states plainly, you cannot multitask. When you switch between tasks, your brain stops one process before starting the next, losing time and accuracy. He recounts a study showing that people who think they're good multitaskers are actually the worst at it. Focus is faster than fragmentation. Next, he explains the role of the senses. We learn better when multiple senses engage. Medina describes an experiment where students remembered information better when visuals, sounds, and emotions were combined, not just text or speech. The brain is a multi-sensory machine. The more senses you activate, the deeper the learning. Finally, we reach the last principle. Vision is the dominant sense. Half of your brain's resources are devoted to processing visual information. Words alone are weak, but visuals, they create memories that stick like glue. Medina tells of classrooms that replace text-heavy slides with images, dramatically boosting understanding and retention. By the end of the book, a clear picture emerges. The brain is extraordinary, but it has rules. If you align your life, work, and learning with these rules, everything becomes easier. Focus improves, creativity grows, memory strengthens, and learning accelerates. But if you fight against these rules through stress, boredom, inactivity, lack of sleep, and multitasking, the brain shuts down. Medina's closing message is simple but profound. Success in life is not about force, it is about alignment. When you work with your brain, not against it, you unlock a version of yourself you never knew existed. And that brings us to the end of our journey through Brain Rules, a book that doesn't just explain the brain, it teaches us how to live better by respecting the way our mind was designed.